Welcome, everyone. Happy New Year. My name is Jonathan Bader. I'm the director of the Michigan Bureau of Elections, and I want to thank those who are joining us in the room, as well as those of you who are watching on YouTube, for the very exciting start of post-election audit for the November 2022 election. Typically, we actually do the audits earlier after the election, but because we had a statewide partial recount that took place in December, we're now doing the audit process in January. So what we are doing today is part of that audit process, which is the ballot audit. This is a statewide process where we randomly select ballots from containers that are randomly selected throughout the state. And we're going to compare a number of those containers to make sure that the ballots, based on a hand count, line up with what the machines tabulated. This will be done with teams doing a hand tally. It is somewhat like a count, but it's not a count. What we're doing is counting enough containers across the state to make sure that within a statistical level of certainty, we're confident that the tabulators got the proper result in tabulating paper ballots. The count will be a little bit different whenever you hand count. You always see small differences. That can happen, for example, because a human being will see someone had circled the oval for a candidate. The machine will count that as no vote, but a human being can actually tell that it is. We also sometimes see that human beings actually make mistakes when they're counting, which machines don't do. They're very accurate. So once we set the jurisdictions that we're doing this ballot audit for, we will also have at least 200 jurisdictions where we're going to do a procedural audit, which is something that we've done for a number of years in the state, where county officials will be looking at selected jurisdictions and precincts to make sure that they followed all of the necessary processes. Then after that, we can obviously address any issues we find with training and correction for future elections. So this is all an example of the way we can use our paper ballots that are kept after the election to verify that our machines are accurate. It's also an example of the decentralized way we run our elections in Michigan. The Department of State is setting this up and the procedures for it, but the actual auditing and reviewing is done by county and local officials along with members of the public, including poll workers, clerks, and others. And so it really is a shared effort where we verify our elections are accurate and identify any issues that we need to improve going forward. What we're doing today is pick a random number. We are using a software program called Arlo, which is also used in a bunch of other states to do the ballot audit. It is a statistical, they call it a risk limit audit, where we determine the statistical certainty that we're trying to find based on the random selection of ballots. But in order to get a random selection, we need to use a random number, which is called a seed number, which is used by the software to randomly select ballots based on the algorithm in the software. The way that we generate the random number is we're going to roll 20 different inside dice to generate a random 20-digit number that we're going to put into the software that we're going to use to select the ballots. And so to do that, we have some special guests that have joined us from different parts of the state. So we have Lansing City Clerk Chris Swope, Kathleen Prout, who's a former member of the English County Board of Canvassers, as well as Livingston County Clerk Ruth Hunley, and Lansing County Deputy Clerk and Election Coordinator Joe Bridge. They're all joining us along with Bureau of Election staff, and we're all going to pick different 10-sided dice and roll them so that we can get that number. So with that, thank you again for our guests for being here, and we're going to go ahead with the dice roll. So I believe Joe is going to kick us off. So we have a 3. Thank you, sir. Then Clerk Hunley. We have a 8. Clerk Swope. We have a 5. Biggest challenge with this is definitely going to be my handwriting. Ms. Prout, if you'd like to. We have an 8. Stewart. Secretary of Election Staff joining us now. We have a 2. Chris. 8. Trey. 7. Darcy. We have a 1. Dave. 7. And another 8. Okay, we're halfway there. Calculations are correct. 1. We have a 4. Is that right? 4. Clerk's. A 2. Carol. Is a 6. Christy. A 6. Again. Julie. 8. Nelson. A 5. The 7. Thank you. 2 more. A 4. Thanks, Kelly. Last but not least, I finally screw up number. That's 4. We have a 7. Laura. Okay, so we now have our 20-digit number. As long as we can read this 4 that I wrote down there very badly, we're going to plug this number into the software, and then that's going to lead to the random selection of our things that we're going to be auditing, and then that will also determine the procedural audits that we're going to do. So now we're going to embark on this, and our county and local officials across the state are going to be proceeding with the audit. So that wraps up the number selection. I just want to thank everyone for being here, and also those of you following us online. Thanks very much.